Hello and welcome to this video on how do planes fly? Have you ever looked up at the sky and wondered how those huge metal birds stay up in the air? Well, in this video, we're going to explore the science behind it. The 4 forces of flight. In order to understand how planes fly, we need to know about the 4 forces of flight: lift, weight, thrust, and drag. Lift is the force that holds the plane up and is generated by the wings. Weight is the force of gravity acting on the plane. Thrust is the force that propels the plane forward, and is generated by the engines. And drag is the force that opposes the plane's forward motion, caused by air resistance. Bernoulli's principle. The key to generating lift is Bernoulli's principle, which states that as the speed of a fluid, such as air, increases, its pressure decreases. This is why the shape of a plane's wing is curved on the top and flat on the bottom. When air flows over the curved top of the wing, it has to travel a longer distance than the air flowing under the flat bottom, which means it has to move faster. This creates a lower pressure area on the top of the wing and a higher pressure area on the bottom, generating lift. Angle of attack. Another factor that affects lift is the angle of attack, which is the angle between the wing and the oncoming air. If the angle of attack is too high, the airflow over the wing can become turbulent, which reduces lift and can even cause the plane to stall. Control surfaces. Planes are equipped with control surfaces that allow the pilot to adjust the angles of the wings and tail. The ailerons, located on the back edge of the wings, control the roll of the plane. The elevators, located on the tail, control the pitch. And the rudder, also located on the tail, controls the yaw. Takeoff and landing. During takeoff, the pilot increases the thrust from the engines to generate enough speed for the plane to become airborne. As the plane gains speed, the wings generate more lift, and the pilot adjusts the pitch of the plane to climb. During landing, the pilot reduces the thrust and lowers the landing gear to prepare for touchdown. As the plane descends, the pilot adjusts the pitch to maintain a safe approach angle, and the wings generate less lift to slow the plane down. Jet engines. Jet engines are commonly used in commercial aircraft because they provide high levels of thrust and can operate at high altitudes. Jet engines work by sucking in air at the front, compressing it, and adding fuel, which is then ignited to create a high-pressure stream of hot gas. This gas is expelled out the back of the engine, providing the thrust needed to propel the plane forward. Wing design. The design of a plane's wings can affect its efficiency and performance. For example, the aspect ratio, or the ratio of the wing's length to its width, can impact the amount of lift generated. A higher aspect ratio wing, such as those found on gliders, produces more lift but is less maneuverable. A lower aspect ratio wing, such as those found on fighter jets, is more maneuverable but generates less lift. Flight instruments. Pilots use a variety of instruments to monitor the plane's altitude, speed, and direction. The altimeter measures the plane's altitude above sea level. The airspeed indicator measures the speed of the plane through the air. The attitude indicator shows the plane's orientation with respect to the horizon. And the heading indicator displays the plane's direction of travel. Turbulence. Turbulence can be a common occurrence during flights, especially when flying through clouds or over mountains. Turbulence can be caused by changes in air temperature or pressure, or by wind patterns. Pilots use weather radar and reports from other planes to try and avoid turbulence as much as possible. If turbulence is encountered, the pilot may adjust the plane's altitude or speed to try and minimize its effects. In summary, the science behind how planes fly involves a complex interplay of forces, including lift, weight, thrust, and drag. Through the use of Bernoulli's principle and control surfaces, pilots are able to manipulate these forces to keep the plane in the air and maneuver it as needed. The design of the plane's wings, the type of engines used, and the use of flight instruments all play a role in the plane's performance. Flying is truly an incredible feat of engineering and science, and it's fascinating to learn more about how it all works.